everybody. Welcome to Dave's Island Instruments handpan workshop. It is Saturday. What is today? June 27th. Awesome. I hope everybody's excited out there. Welcome to our class. My name is Daniel Tim, and I will be hosting today. We have a great show for you guys today. Not only are we going to learn about handpan, but we also have some wellness. We believe here at Dave's Island Instrument that sound or music is a wellness or a form of wellness. And today we're going to talk a little bit about wellness and water. And this person that we have today, I'm excited because she's an expert in her field, and she had some great insights on how water affects your handpan playing, and it also affects your health and how it can benefit you greatly. So you guys are in for a treat today on that. So I think we're still live. Yeah. Are we live? There's 4 people. How's everybody doing out there? Say a comment. I want to see how many, where you guys are at right now in the country. Just maybe say hi and say I'm here in Long Beach, so I want to see where everybody's coming from. So and then today, we have the handpan class that you're going to learn some stuff. I know everybody has some questions already, and I'm sure Dave is ready to give it to you. So without further ado, I want to give it up for the person that brought you all these handpans, all this great music, and everything that you see here today, and what Dave's Island is today is because of Dave. So let's give it up for Dave Beery. I think it's going to change. Yay! How you doing, Dave?
Hey, everybody. I'm good. Thanks for the little intro there, Daniel.
You're welcome, Dave. I'm going to mute myself out, and you got it, buddy.
Awesome. All right. As Daniel said, we've got a couple great things for you today. We've got Marlita Williams talking about health and wellness, but we're going to be talking about techniques and how to get some good on the instrument. All right. So some little basic. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, please subscribe here on the screen. Click the subscribe button, and you can be a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you'll be notified of when we have our different kind of productions that we produce on YouTube, and watch when you have time. I'm David Beery. I have been tuning handpans and steel drums all the way back since, steel drums since 1992 or 93 or so, and I started making handpans in the year 2010 or something like that. And so I've been doing this for a good long time. I've had a previous business to this was called Smarty Pans, and I was primarily making steel drums. And I transitioned over to handpans around 2010, like I said. And now the handpan is basically our primary instrument that we make and sell here at DII. So I'm really happy to be here with you. It's going to be a lot of fun talking about these subjects today. So, by the way, feel free to put them in the comment section. We can answer some questions live while we're all here together. And so feel free to do that, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can during the live broadcast. All right, with no further ado, we're going to bring our health and wellness expert along with us, our DI team here. And she's one of the most positive people I've ever met, and I'm really excited to have her on our production, on our little live show. Marlita Williams, come on, where are you? Are you there?
I am here. Can you see me?
All right, Marlita's coming soon.
The suspense.
The suspense.
Yay, there she is. Hey, Marlita.
Hi. How are you today?
I'm
I missed
so quickly. Let me just review how.
Can I interject real quick? I just want to let the audience know we are having I guess you guys are cutting in and out, so we have a little bit of lag. So if you guys talk a little bit slower, because it is cutting in and out. So I think it's the internet connection. Sorry guys if that's happening. Just wanted to let you know.
No worries.
No worries. Thank you. I do tend to talk quickly when I get excited.
We both do.
Yes. Okay. So I first met Marlita when we had a booth at a yoga festival here. It's amazing. I actually took a picture with her on the spot, and that was like a year ago or more now. And then later on, we just happened to meet up, and that's when she became part of the DII team. So it's really cool to have you here, Marlita.
Thank you so much. I don't, believe in coincidences, and how I actually got to be in the shop with you and be amongst the handpan energy. I'm so grateful for it every single day. It can literally change someone's life, being around the handpan, around the person that makes them, that loves them. When we play in the shops, it's amazing. So awesome.
Absolutely.
All
right, so you've got some information about Kangen water.
I do.
Awesome.
Well,
so we're going to be talking about what is it? The what's our segment called today? Raise your frequency with water.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the Kangen water.
Okay. So the first thing I want to introduce people to, first of all, I'm a registered respiratory therapist. I have a bachelor's degree in community health as well, and I'm an Air Force veteran. And I love learning about the human body. I always have. And there's some things over the trainings that I've had with the different degrees, there is intricate information that we're not taught. And it made me wonder, why don't we know about these things? Why are we not informed about these things? So I went on my own path to discover different really important aspects of our physiology that we need. So there's this book that I highly recommend for everyone to pick up if you can. It's called The Hidden Messages in Water, and it's by Masaru Emoto, and a very fascinating man. And what he did was he wanted to see what affects water. And the reason he talks about this, in the book, he talks about this global chaos that's going on in the world. And there's a few quotes in here that I want to share with everyone. He says, "It would seem that as long as people are people, any solution proposed is certain to come up short." And what he's mentioning is, no matter what types of solutions we come up, no matter the ideas that we come up with, we have this realm together. And he wanted to, what is the interrelating factor in all of our lives that we're all together? And for him, he water. Dave, how much percent of the water is our body? Do you know?
I think it's 98 or 99.
Close. When we're babies, when we're young, it is high 90s. And then when we're in our adult life, it's about 75 to 80%. And then when we get into our senior times, it's less. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. So in this book, he says, water serves as the transporter of energy throughout our body. And he also mentions that water also has the ability to copy and memorize information. One thing that we miss in our lives, we all know about food, we know about exercise, we know about meditation, playing the handpan with all these frequencies, but we don't always think about the profound effect that frequencies have on water. So imagine a dehydrated body that's supposed to have 80% water in it, and we're playing the handpan and we're attempting to resonate with it and all those things, and we're severely dehydrated. When we hydrate well, in which Kangen water we're going to get to in just a moment, when we drink Kangen water specifically, it's 6 times more hydrating than any other water in the world. So imagine your cells all plugged up, your organs are going really good, and everything is vibing. And when you play these frequencies on a handpan or on a flute or any type of instrument, it resonates bigger, higher, and greater when we have the flow of water inside of our body. Right? Does that make sense?
I love it.
Yeah.
No, it makes absolute sense to me.
It's very profound. So in this book, he talks that different kinds of music negatively affect our water. And then other types of music positively affect our water. So the more clear resonance, the more handpan sound, flutes, things like this, sounds from the earth in nature create crystals in very uniform aspects. It's very, very cool. So I really suggest this book. It's called The Hidden Messages in Water. And so Kangen water specifically, there's some information. I have these information cards here that everyone can check out. And so it talks about how Kangen water is alkalizing, how superiorly hydrated that people get, and that it has antioxidants. Why is this important? When people, a lot of us have inflammation, a lot of us have toxins in our bodies that just have yet to get out of our bodies, right? So we have to find a way to get the inflammation out, get the toxins out, and hydrate at the cellular level, which is really, really important. And me, Dave, and Daniel, we were talking about how can we come up with something to put water on top of it and play the handpan so we can see the vibration that happens with the water, right? And so we're going to get an idea of how to do that. I find it so fascinating that
absolutely.
raising our hydration and raising our frequency in that matter, changing one thing, our water, hydrating our body, it has a profound effect. It really does. I think you have a story too. I don't know if you want to share it.
Oh, absolutely. No, when you were just talking about toxins in the body, I had a story that I was thinking about. We talked about it earlier. I had some hearing trouble in my left ear several years back, and I went to a specialist, and they suggested to stop drinking caffeine and all that sort of thing. Because the problem I was having was due to my inner ear. There's fluid in your inner ear, and the inner ear is really sticky, and you want to get rid of anything that could affect the flow of that sticky substance or whatever that is. So I immediately just started just drinking water. I stopped drinking sodas. I stopped drinking tea, coffee, all that sort of thing. And I'm really happy to say that over time, my hearing has improved tremendously. And I really do think it's because those toxins have been released. And it took a long time because I think that fluid is very viscous. So it probably took a year. But I do think that had something to do with it, getting some of the impurities out of the water that out of the things I was drinking and consuming. Right. So what you're talking about is like, oh, and by the way, so the connection between water and the handpan, I can now hear the handpan better than I could before. So I'm really super stoked about that. And so what you're talking about now is the next level of hydrating your body, right?
Right. Yeah. And, he mentions that water has memory. And when I've been in one of your classes and it's a full house in there. And to hear everyone playing at the same time and having that music go through my body, knowing that the water in me is changing because of what's happening outside of me, it feels so good. And after I leave, I still have that resonance in my body. I still have the memory of what it felt like to be with those people, to be with you, making music together in this world. So it's more than about it being water. It's the interconnectedness of being with one another and carrying it on to the next destination that we go to. And the last quote in here that I really admire, he says, water is the mirror of the soul. Existence is vibration. And that's what music is. Music is a vibration that can raise our energy and our frequency for the better. So hydration is absolutely key. It can change someone's health exponentially in a matter of days when we hydrate well with the proper water.
Yeah, I was also thinking too, the handpan is a physical activity. You're playing it with your hands, and you do have ligaments and joints and muscles and all that sort of thing that need to be hydrated. And also, like, say it's a hot day, you might be playing your handpan and sweating a little bit. So, and also you're using your brain. Your brain is very active when you're playing music. So all of those things need to be hydrated, right? And lubricated with that
Absolutely. Yep. And conducting the energy. Water is a conductor. Water is a lubricator, right? It's a hydrator. It does all of these things. So we have to have the proper amount and we have to have the proper kind in order to get the most full benefit of what water can do inside of our body and in our life. Very simple stuff.
Marlita, I'm so happy to be with you today.
I'm so happy to be with you.
It's so much fun. So I also want to plug you. You do sell Kangen water, right?
I do, yes. Yes.
All right. So in these days, we're trying to support all of our small businesses out there. So I want to support you, and I want to hopefully get other people to support you. So you have an Instagram account, and what was the address to the Instagram account?
I do. Please connect with me. Get me in my DMs. It's _health_revolution_. That's my Instagram. That's where you can connect with me the most. And let me know that you were on Dave's DII call today and introduce yourself. I would love to give you more information, maybe get you some sample gallons, and at the ultimate, get you your own device in your own home to have unlimited amounts of Kangen water. Can absolutely change your life.
Yes, awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you, Marlita. I'm looking forward. By the way, I think we're going to have you back on a semi-regular basis.
We are.
We're going to be talking about health and wellness, not just water, but all sorts of fun stuff.
I've got all kinds of treats when we do that. I'm excited.
All right. We're going to have a moment with Marlita in the future, and we're going to love it. And I can't wait to see you again.
Thank you so much, Dave. Mwah. Have a great session today.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Marlita.
All righty. Yay, Marlita. Thank you for coming on with us again. For everybody that's out there watching, I hope you enjoyed that. It's very interesting stuff. I want to now bring the attention back to the handpan here. We're going to talk about some of the basics for those of you who are new to the instrument. Today I have something special. Today I have a Lunar Clarity 11 handpan, and it has notes on the bottom. So I know that some of you out there have recently purchased our Lunar Clarity 11 handpan. I just want to give a couple simple lessons on how to use those notes on the bottom as well. So over the for all you play scales and different things with the top side and with the bottom notes. So here we go. The basics. We do this pretty much every one of our classes. Typically, we have our classes here at the DII facility in Lakewood. But ever since COVID came around, we're just trying to provide this information to a lot format on YouTube. So this is the handpan. And you've probably seen these on YouTube before. There's different varieties of handpans, and they differ differently, and all sorts of different variations there. But essentially, there are a few things that are the same. It's got a top shell. They're made out of steel, typically. Sometimes made out of stainless steel these days. Sometimes the steel is heat treated. Sometimes it's powder coated like this one. But there's all sorts of varieties, but basically it's made of steel or stainless steel. So the is where most of the notes are. Some people call them tone fields. So sometimes I call them tone field notes. The bottom shell, if you didn't have the notes here, it would just have this hole here. And the hole in the bottom is called the GU, G-U. And it has a tone that comes out of it, which is called a Helmholtz frequency. And it's also a place that the tuner can access the instrument to tune it with the hammer. So if you notice, I don't know if you can see it in the frame, but I have a tripod stand below me. We call this the traveler stand. And now that I have notes on the bottom of my handpan, I need to make sure that these tripod legs are not touching the notes. So I found that if I put one of the legs between these two notes here, the G and the B flat, I'm getting pretty good results with the other notes. So they all sound pretty good that way, and I can access them. Okay, so on the top shell, the big note in the middle is called the ding note, and it has the lowest sound of the instrument, like that. And then we have the other tone field notes that go around the edge. They go from low to high. The low notes are towards your body. And the higher notes are from your body. Each of these notes has these little divots, and a lot of people call them dimples. So the dimples are just a little bit of a bump in the metal to keep it from vibrating too much, and it kind of gives it a controlled sound and a little bit more of a mellower sound. You can also play the metal between the notes. The metal between the notes is called the interstitial metal. You can use the interstitial metal for backbeats like this, kind of like a bass drum and a snare drum on a drum set. And so the handpan is really fun because you can use pretty much every part of it to make music out of it. So it's a really cool instrument. One of the primary things people ask about right up front when they're learning how to play the handpan is, how do I get that tone out of the note? So it's once you figure it out, it's really not a big deal. But if you've never played a percussion instrument, or if you've never really played music before, it is a bit of a mystery. Reminds me of if somebody asked me to do some kind of sport that I was unfamiliar with, like ice skating. I would be like flying all over the place because I don't know how to control the skates, and I don't know how the flow of the ice works on the skates and that sort of thing. So for those of you who are newbies to music, don't be too concerned that you might be having trouble. Just give yourself a chance to get accustomed to it and practice slowly but surely, and you should get better within a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so basically I envision my fingers as like little springs almost. So when I hit the note, it touches the note and comes immediately off of the note. If you leave your finger on the note, it muffles the sound and it keeps it from vibrating. So what you want to do is use your finger to strike the note and immediately come off of the note. One of the best ways that we've learned how to describe this to newbies is using the service bell. You might have seen this in a hotel or something like that to get somebody's attention. It's a bell, and when you strike the little beater on top, it makes a ding. Just like that, right? So it's very similar to this. Right? The motion is about the same and everything. So if you leave your finger on that button, it just mutes the bell. Same thing happens here, right? So you need to strike and come off. So if you're having trouble learning how to play and get a sound out of the instrument, you might want to find one of these service bells at a dollar store or something like that, and maybe you can get some practice that way and get yourself moving along faster. But that's a really good way just to describe it through video format too, of how to produce that sound. Another question people have is, which finger do I use and where do I hit the note? All right, well, let me describe the notes first before I discuss those things. So each of these notes is usually more of an oval shape and not so much a circle. So the length of the oval and the width of the oval have different sounds that are tuned to them. Basically, each of these notes has 3 primary harmonics that are tuned to create the sound that we know as a handpan sound. So I'm going to talk about some musical terminology here, but don't worry about it. I'll go over it real fast, but I just want you to know so that when we talk about where to strike the note, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So there's a fundamental pitch, which is the lowest sound that we tune to the note. Then we have an octave above that, which sounds almost the same as this note, but just higher. And then there's a fifth on top of that note, which has a different sound also. So you're working with 3 different pitches at that point. when you strike the note to get the regular handpan sound and a full sound and a nice warm sound, I suggest you strike right in the middle of that dimple. Or if you're playing the ding note, just strike right on top of the ding note dimple. That usually produces the warmest tone. Now, if you're going to strike towards the edge of the note, practice on this one here. Actually, over here, maybe. You hear a little bit of a whispery kind of sound. It's like the harmonic on a guitar when Eddie Van Halen plays all these cool harmonics on his guitar. The octave is being activated there. So what I'm doing with one hand is I'm muting, just barely touching the center of the note, and then striking the very edge of the length of the note to get that octave sound. Now, if you want to get the fifth sound, you're going to strike towards the edge of the middle of, or the width of the note to get the fifth sound. So as you're playing, if you want to get a nice warm sound, you're going to aim for the center of the notes. If you want to get more of a wispy octave sound, you can play towards the edges. And if you want to practice really hard and learn how to activate those fifths, there's ways of doing that too. So that's the long-term objective of you as a handpan player, is to learn how to activate all of these different pitches, to learn how to make music with all of those and have a lot of fun with it. That's kind of the mystery of watching somebody that's really adept at playing handpan. You just see all of these sounds coming out of this instrument, and it seems like magic. But really, it's not so much magic. A lot of it is practice that that person has put into learning how to play the instrument and produce all these sounds in a pleasing way. All right, so we were talking about where to hit it, and now we also want to talk how to hit it. Which finger do I use? So I predominantly use my index finger. But you can also use your thumb and any of the other fingers, or you could even use your whole hand if that's what you want to do. So it's interesting. Technique, yes, I could say, yes, do it that way, or no, don't do it that way. But some of it depends on how your body responds to the instrument and how you want it to sound. You can refine each of the fingers in a way where you can get a specific sound out of each one of those fingers and how it strikes the note and produces the sound. So I'm trying to get away from saying it's a right or wrong way of playing the instrument. It really relies on how you feel when you play it. Are you feeling satisfied when you play the instrument? If you're not, then maybe change the technique in a way where you're starting to learn how to get a better sound. So a master of the instrument is going to learn how to use each of their fingers to produce a different sound that they want for different situations. So for instance, you can use your thumbs. Some people really like that. Also, it's more of a rotation moment with the wrist. Right? And your thumb just kind of flops on the note and comes immediately off. Rather than the motion that I showed you earlier with my finger, which is almost, my wrist is a little bit straight, relaxed, but not right? And following gravity. Almost just allowing gravity to pull my arm down. I'm not forcing it with my muscles. And then when you strike the note, your finger comes immediately off of it. So you can play with your thumbs to get a sound. You can play with your index finger to get another sound. You could play all the way up to your little finger here. Right? Creates a very soft sound. And also it kind of looks cool. So you have to think about that too. As you grow as a player, you might want to do a performance. And sometimes it just looks cool to play with different fingers, or in a different situation, do something different. So go ahead and feel free to practice with all of your fingers, but find the finger that you feel most comfortable with and concentrate on that one as a beginner just to get started. So most people usually use their index finger or their middle finger. I did say you could play with your whole hand. It tends to be a little harsh to my ears, and so I usually tell people to kind of try to use one or two fingers if they have to use multiple fingers. But I think the one finger sound is probably the best. I've also noticed some people, they do have a technique where they kind of strike like that. It's a very interesting, like a little spring-like motion with their finger like that. But you have to be careful when you curve your finger like this. Sometimes the tendency is to pull at the note. And if you pull at the note, it typically mutes the note. So if you do kind of work on that technique, just be careful that you're not muting the note. All right, so to get you started now on your primary finger, we'll just do a couple simple exercises. You can just do 4 strikes with each hand. So we're going to go 4 on the right hand, 4 on the left hand. We'll start with the ding note, and you'll just play it like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And just kind of go back and forth until you start feeling like, oh, I'm getting a good sound out of that note. Okay, you can also do the same thing with the notes on the side. So I would say after you feel comfortable on the ding note, you can move it to the other tone field notes. These are the easiest to reach, the D here and the E here. So you could just do the same exercise on these notes. Okay, so those are some simple techniques to get you started with just how to play the instrument. Now, scales are something else that people want to learn how to do. You saw me do this earlier. Right? So this note has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 notes on it, so you can count them. If you don't know the musical letter names of each note, it doesn't really matter. You can just count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, one trick to that is the orientation of the handpan. So if I turn to this way, it's not going to sound the same. Right? It doesn't go smoothly up and down the scale. So you need to learn how to orient your handpan. So the 2 lower frequency notes that are supposed to be towards your body, they're usually about the size of your hand. So you're going to see the larger notes, you're going to turn those towards your body. And then the note that has the highest pitch or the highest sound usually goes away from your body, either at the 12 o'clock position or splitting that 12 o'clock position. Some handpans have 9 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So those would be split up at the top. So like I said, the first things first, you need to make sure your handpan is oriented properly. After that point, you'll notice that if you, like on this handpan with the 8 notes, if I start with my left hand, I can go back and forth with my hands. That means I'm alternating hands. So I'm going left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Now I'm exaggerating my hand motions just right now so you can see what I'm doing. But let's do that one more time. So I'm going to go left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way up to the highest note here. So if you count the notes, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I ended on my right hand. If you start from the top and go back down, starting on your right hand, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's a simple scale. This scale that we sell a lot of, and it's our basic scale that we really like to make and promote. It's called the sunset scale. Other people out in handpan world sometimes call it a Celtic minor scale, and in the music world, it's a bit of a D minor scale. It's only missing one note that makes it not a D minor scale. So you can call it D minor, you can call it a Celtic minor. We call it sunset here at DII. So let me just tell you what the notes are now, the musical notes. So we talked about counting them with numbers. If you use musical notes, this is a D in the center, and then an A, then a C, D, E, F, G, and A. So that's the scale that you can learn off of and you can start to enjoy. So those two things I would say as a beginner, you can practice and to get started, just going back and forth with getting the sound out of the instrument that you want, usually with a single finger, whichever finger that you prefer. Like I said, usually it's a index finger or the middle finger. Or you can also do the scales. So starting on the left hand. And then going back down. You can also play two notes at once. You can split your hands like this and create chords. You'll notice I just played some notes on the right-hand side, and then I played other notes on the left-hand side. Conveniently, the handpan is set up in a way where the right-hand side of the instrument typically works well together. Like this is the D minor chord. On the left-hand side, we've got a C major chord. And so if you can go back and forth between those and make some music. So it's a really nice way of visually seeing what you're doing, and it also makes a nice sound in your ears. So I wanted to talk a little bit, before I move on to the 11 notes, the 3 notes that are on the bottom of this instrument, I wanted to talk about how to use the interstitial metal here. So the interstitial metal is this metal that's between the notes, and it's a very percussive sounding area of the instrument, like that. So I usually smack it with my middle finger. Again, you might be more comfortable smacking it with your index finger, that sort of thing, or who knows, even your ring finger. You can smack it here. You can put that towards the edge. The interstitial metal. Anywhere you find the interstitial metal, you can use that space as a percussive area. You can even use the bottom. Right? So we call this little beginning song, we call it the Austin Funk, and I teach it to almost every beginner that I know. And it's a very simple beat, but it's fun and it can get you started, and it's just a little bit different than making music on the handpan notes. You're just using this instrument as a rhythmic instrument almost rather than a musical instrument. So the Austin Funk is a 2-part song, but it's not hard. So the first part repeats 3 times, and then the last part, you just play these 2 notes like this. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Just go back and forth between the C and the D's. So go C, D, C, D. Okay, so the beginning rhythm sounds like this. And then you play the second part. And then you go go back to the first. So let me show you how the whole thing sounds. Rest, and then go back to the top. Rest. Okay, see how that works? So let's just break it down a little bit. So it's going to go left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. I raised my hands there because there's a pause. In music, we call that a rest, a short rest or a short pause. And then we played the other part of the song, the C, D, C, D, which if you were counting those notes, it would be 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. 3, 4, 3, 4, right? So you pause right before you play those notes, and then you go right back to the beginning on the left hand. Sometimes people get confused on that transition. So left, right, center. Left, right, right to the ding note, and you start over. So let's play the beginning part. Left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, pause, left, right, begin again. Pause. So that's a fun one. I always suggest to people that they could go to their first coffee shop gig and play that's the song that they would be playing as people are walking in to watch them play. It's just a fun little rhythm, kind of gets you moving a little bit. And if you get proficient at it, you can talk while you're playing it. So like you could say something like, hey everybody, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here. Go ahead and get a coffee and enjoy, right? So here I am playing the music, but also talking at the same time. And it really brings people into your performance. The other thing you could do is you could create a rap, or you could create a melody to sing and some words, or you could recite poetry. I'm not good with poetry, but you could just start reciting poetry as you're singing this, or as you're playing this rhythm. So it'd be fun. All right. So that's the end of like the little beginner section of this segment. I want to talk a little bit now about the Lunar Clarity 11 with the 3 notes on the bottom. The reason we call it 11 is because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 notes on the bottom. So the difference with this one is it spreads the scale out a little bit more. It has a few more low notes. And it has a B flat in here that is missing between the A and the C on the top. So let me just play that for you in its complete form. So it goes D, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A. So those notes actually provide a lot of really interesting musical ideas to expand on what you already have on the top shell. So I like it, the B flat here underneath is really great. It works with the D and the F on top to create a B flat chord. That's really nice. Oops, excuse me. The G over here can be used with the C and the E to make a C major chord. Then you can also have the F over here and play these notes. Now you have a nice full F chord. Now if you don't know anything about chords, major, minor, anything like that, we could also just do sequences of notes that make it fun to play. So, for instance, you could play the sequence of notes on the regular handpan scale on the top, which I described earlier. right? That's just our regular sequence of notes on top. You can also learn how to play another scale on this side utilizing these two notes on the bottom, the G and the B flat. And if you just play them in sequence, it creates a pygmy scale. And it kind of has a completely different sound than the regular scale on top. Right? So now you've got two different flavors, basically, all in one handpan. I just recently sold an 11 to a customer, and he asked, well, does the B flat, if you add the B flat into the scale, does that allow you to play a chord scale? And yes, I didn't actually put that together until he asked me. I remember I knew that it created the pygmy, G minor pygmy scale over here. But I forgot that by adding the B flat, you can have a chord scale. So the chord scale is a very popular scale in the handpan world, and it's also a D minor scale. And the way the chord scale works is it goes D, A, B flat, C, D, E, and then everything else is the same. But on this scale here, the B flat is not on the top shelf. So now if you have the B flat here, you can play the chord scale by starting on your right hand. So you can see how it's not too difficult to make that scale. Right? So you've got a chord scale, you've got a pygmy scale. Over here you've got the F, which gives the instrument a very nice, pleasing major sound. So you've got a nice major F major sound there. So those are three different ways that you can use the notes on the bottom of this Lunar Clarity 11 that are really fun to play, and that kind of gives you some creative ideas to work with beyond what you already have on the top shelf. So there you go. I just wanted to give everybody some highlights of the instrument. Daniel, are you still there?
Yes, I am. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. Have we had any questions come in at all?
No questions yet. I think
Wow.
you did a great job. It was awesome to hear all that stuff. And it's funny because I've been working on the videos for the lessons, and just to give everybody out there a heads up, pretty soon we're starting a lesson community, DIY community, and it's going to be coming soon. Look forward to that. There's going to be personal lessons from Dave, and I've been editing all these, and it's been awesome because as I'm editing, I'm learning all this new stuff. It's pretty cool.
Fun stuff. Yeah, all the techniques and
everything. So it's pretty amazing. And Dave, I just want to appreciate you for being out here, because I know if you guys don't know, Dave's Island has been super busy, especially during this COVID-19 time, because I believe people need great vibrations, and the handpan definitely provides that. And Dave's been working hard to get these handpans out to people. And he's been in the shop, and he still comes out here and gives you guys free lessons, which is amazing. And Dave, I just totally appreciate you for doing this and sharing.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. And you too. You're always back in there working on all the studio stuff.
Well,
it takes a team to make this stuff happen.
I know. I think we had some sunspots today because I know the internet in the office is pretty crazy. So we've had like some issues with. Sorry about the sound, you guys, but hopefully we can take care of that on future videos. So.
Cool. All right. Well, I want to say another thank you to Marlita for being with us earlier today. So don't forget to hydrate your bodies before you play so you can think well, you can sweat and be free with your hands and your joints. And check out her Instagram site. What was it? It was underscore, where is it? Underscore healthy, sorry, health revolution, underscore health revolution underscore.
Yeah, I just.
So go there and check her out.
And Dave's Island is open. We're by appointment only. I know there's some crazy rules going around right now, but as of now, we are still open for appointments. And I'm not sure if they're going to try to close us down again. I don't know.
Who knows?
You can still order online, and we do offer virtual appointments, which work really well. I know a lot of people want to hold the instrument in their hand. If they can't do that before they buy it, then the next best thing is to actually do an online video chat, which we can show you the video or the handpans that you can actually buy, and you'll get a good idea of what the handpans are all about. So I'm excited.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, with that, thank you so much.
Yes, and you want to finish with the little song, and then we will.
Sure.
Take
Sounds
off.
like a plan.
All right, guys. If you guys don't have any questions, you guys have a great day. It's a beautiful Saturday. Stay safe out there. And here is Dave.
Toodaloo. Bye, Daniel.
Bye.